In Washington is Durwood Zaelke, an environmentalist and founder and president of the Institute for Governance and Sustainable Development. Always a pleasure, Durwood. Thank you so much for your time. We just heard in that report a geologist talking about the possible environmental impact. Just tell us more about that. I hope you can hear us and we can hear you, because I've been reading about the damage that could well be caused to the environment for thousands and thousands of kilometers around this area.
Yes. So the eruption and the tsunami is an indication of the fragility of the global environment. I mean, we are stressing this environment with climate change principally through the exploding human population, through exploding consumption in the richer countries of the world, and the stress this is placing on the entire environment is going to show up in these kinds of aberrant eruptions or other anomalies that are going to be increasingly damaging to the planet. I mean, this is almost like the movie Don't Look Up, but from the bottom of the ocean as opposed to a comet striking.
In the 1990s, Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines released so much sulfur dioxide that the global temperatures fell by about 0.5 degrees Celsius. I mean, obviously, that would mask what's happening with the climate crisis. Are you expecting some kind of impact on global temperatures from this explosion?
This explosion so far has been far, far less than Mount Pinatubo. But I think it's going to raise the question for a lot of people, including climate scientists, whether we should be looking at that strategy for future cooling. Pinatubo was a naturally occurring experiment, and it did cool the world for a couple of years. And again, it's a much bigger amount of sulfur put into the atmosphere. But this is something that could be done through artificial solar radiation management, maybe done through increasing volcanic eruptions. But it's something that the world should be studying. Is this going to be one of the important strategies for slowing down warming, avoiding the tipping points that are right around the corner?
Durwood, we could talk about the practical implications to the climate of this explosion, but you mentioned Don't Look Up. I was reading one analysis from a historian who said, if we take that asteroid in the movie to be the climate crisis, he says we would be towards the end of the movie. In other words, we can see the asteroid as it approaches, having come from millions and millions of kilometers away. Yesterday on this program, we were examining the Global Inequality Report, and a guest told us, he said, remember, the world's richest people, they buy elections, they buy governments, they buy media, and they influence the way we think about everything that surrounds us. Are we being brainwashed into believing that the climate crisis isn't as serious as people like you keep telling us?
I think we are. I mean, the illustration in the movie Don't Look Up was the distraction of the social media that we provide for celebrities. So people are easily distracted. I mean, it's the bread and circus that is preventing us from seeing how close the asteroid is, or in this case, climate chaos. The best of the climate scientists, like Tim Lenton at Exeter University, tells us we have somewhere between 0 and 10 years to right the ship. So speed becomes absolutely critical. And we're starting to see that, and the youth movement may be the most important new climate intervention going on. The kids are angry and they're demanding faster action. So they may yet be the ones who save us from the climate chaos.
Durwood, we're going to leave it there, but I don't want to say goodbye without mentioning the fact that 100 companies are responsible for 71% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions. So that kind of ties in to that theory of brainwashing that we're talking about. Durwood, until the next time, thank you very much indeed. Durwood Zaelke in Washington.